Hello again, and welcome back to the Rhovanion campaign for 4th Age Total War Dominion of Men. I'm on for Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion. This will be episode 7, and I am your host, Wombat, or Wambat, as you prefer. I'm at the end of, I think it's turn 9 here, and I'm just going to check to make sure that I've done everything that I should normally do by the end of a turn before proceeding, because I've had mistakes happen before already in this campaign. I want to avoid that. Let's see here. Okay, looks like everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's the population here. Okay. Like there's less population in Rhovanos than I intended there to be. Oh, that's because I had to have the king leave and I queued up all these guys for training. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and press in turn. Let's see what happens. With any luck, I'll get attacked by the independent peoples over in that settlement to the west of Rhovanos. But no luck this time. Not a problem, I can still defeat them inside their city. Let's see here. Money's doing well. Made 5,000 in profit, even aside from any diplomacy income, so that's very nice. Healthy state of my economy. Get another thing. I think we decided we were going to go with control posts at this point. Finally start producing some units up there, because Lord knows I'll need them. Homeland Dominion done over here. I don't have my lordship yet. Oh, that's right, you need 2 turns for that. Well, that'll come soon enough. Oh, lazy, why do you have to lazy? Okay. What shall he build? I'm gonna go with the cheapest thing. We'll get his bonuses later. Okay, so just those 2 things to build. We've got some recruitment going on. Those are all queued up. Let me see if he's got his discount yet. Nope, he's still stuck there. Yeah, this guy's unintelligent, so it might take him a while to get attuned. Well, if he doesn't get attuned eventually, we'll just replace him with somebody who might get attuned. Let's see here. Get one of these guys. Is he attuned yet? Yep, attuned. Very nice. And he's got that nice 10% decreased troop training cost there, you can see. Plus, again, you can see the 5% to trade income, tax collection, land tax, which negates the negative, the malices from the poor governorship, but he's an adept governor, so you can see he's getting lots of bonuses. This place is pretty well governed. Anything else? We're going to queue up another emissary. Okay, we're going to keep producing emissaries probably till we have about 30 of them and then maintain that number, barring the elimination of factions, of course. Once we've got 1 emissary at each for each faction, like in place, we'll use the extra ones to just expose the rest of the map, and then we'll just settle them down next to their counterparts, so that when one dies off, another will take its place. Okay, so what do I want to do at this point? Let's see what kind of diplomacy can get done. We have the general here. That'll be very useful in attacking this settlement, as I recall, does have a ranged unit in it that can outrange my own units, so I might be needing to run that unit down with my cavalry. And the mercenary riders alone might get too ravaged in that scenario, so it'll be helpful to have the King's Heir here with his relatively large bodyguard. So I'm going to be making that attack this turn. Dunabar hasn't been making aggressive moves towards me yet. Oh, wait a minute here. Ah, see, they're trying to go for the settlement. Okay, so if I take the settlement before they do, then there's a decent chance they will try to attack it. Especially if I leave it empty, which is maybe what I will do. And that'll be such a tempting target for them that they may well start a war with me and break my alliance with them. It'll be exactly what I want to. Okay, but so for this turn, I'm going to go ahead and capture these two settlements. So that'll be probably 4 attacks that I can execute and get paid for. Let's go ahead and talk to some folks and see if they'll give me money. Do I have somebody over at... yeah, I got him there. And this guy to talk to United Kingdom. Very good. Let's see if I can get in touch with Tharbad this turn. Fortunately, the Shire doesn't send out emissaries. So it's you got to go to them if you want to get any negotiations going. With any luck, I'll stumble across one of their emissaries on my way there. I'm not sure that's quite enough movement to get to one of their settlements. If Tharbad is what I'm talking about, of course. Can't reach the Shire right now, I know that. But probably only 1 or 2 more turns before I can reach the Shire. Ah, can't reach them. Wait a minute, who is that? Is that one of their emissaries? No. Maybe I can talk to this guy. If I put my emissary right in this tile, he'll still have movement points. And all you need is movement points. You don't even have to have enough movement points to enter that tile. You just have to have a greater than 0 value in order to initiate diplomacy. At least that's how I recall it. But let's see if it works. Your honor. No! That's not how it works. I was wrong. Bummer. So close. So close. It's not fair. Ah, can't make it. He's right there. Just throw a rock at him. Ah, you lazy bastard. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Let's start with Rohan this turn. Where are you? Tharbad. Don't have anything to say to you this turn. Let's see here. Give me money. I can attack those dirty, dirty, independent people. You know, we all hate people trying to be independent. How dare they live their own lives. That's right. I knew you would like it. That is a bummer, not being able to talk to Tharbad. That probably represents about, I don't know, 2,000 million I can't make this turn. And unfortunately, you are, the timer does run out on getting money off of these other factions. Eventually, relations, the invisible relation factor deteriorates enough in a campaign that these other factions that are not obliged to like you will stop caring about you enough to give you money to attack other factions. Okay, let's see if I can reach anybody on this side. You'll often have Bjornings will often have little stacks along this pathway here. I might run into one. Again, no luck. Oh, well, I think I can reach Old Ford then. Let's do that. else? I guess that's it. Alright. How much was that? That was 3,000. So I'll probably get 3,000 times 4. So 12,000 this turn from diplomacy. Barring any conflicts I haven't considered yet.
Captain.
Yeah, I'm not going to be attacking this town multiple times. Because I actually want to capture it on this turn. Okay.
Captain.
Okay, so done that attack. Let's go get some more money.
Noble master.
Oh, I forgot I can't get money from you. That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Okay.
Noble master. I shall speak with them at once.
Oh. What I should do is maybe he had sent an emissary past me already that I missed. I'm going to go ahead and walk my emissary up here and see if there's a Tharbad emissary in this area. I wasn't really paying attention during the AI turn. I'm not even sure if they would have shown me that movement. I've been able to see it. I don't think I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna be that lucky.
Without delay.
That's done lending, yeah. Oh well.
I shall
More money from Rhovanion.
Can I be of service?
I don't know why Reunited Kingdom is so damn lazy down here in Gondor. I wonder if they're just like diverting a lot of troops to try and protect their coastline or something. Who's next? Warnings, right? Ooh, Old Ford. I want to get my hands on you.
I shall speak with them.
Definitely want to capture Old Ford for myself. I don't know this. Yeah, once I've gotten at war with Dunabar, I'll probably, as I was anticipating, using the merchant here as the bait to get a Dunabar to go to war with me. I'll probably do the same thing with Mid-Deeping once I capture it from a Dunabar. Once I capture it from a Dunabar, I can then let Bjornings come in here and take it from me. In the alternative, if they're lazy about it, I might just let it revolt from me, get myself an alliance with Rohan to keep them from grabbing it, and then just keep a unit here besieging Mid-Deeping, as I have one here besieging Brag Estalad. And then because I wouldn't have an alliance with the Bjornings, then they might be tempted to attack my unit so that they can grab Mid-Deeping for themselves, and that'll be a handy way of initiating a war with them. It's always helpful to have the AI do the war declaring if you can arrange it so. I kind of forgot what I was doing now. Did I do the Bjornings yet? Alright, the Bjornings are there. Yeah, I did them, so now I'm on the elves. Go.
Awaiting your command. I shall speak with them at once.
Everybody's being so nice this time. They're not lowballing me.
I shall speak with them at once.
Really appreciate that. Now, there's been some speculations. In particular, I think there's another YouTuber, Infernal Chinook or something of that nature, who contends that having trade relations with other factions and actually conducting trade with other factions will have an effect on your relationships with other factions. And it might be because that could be the case in Medieval Warfare 2. I haven't played Medieval Warfare 2, so I don't know if that's the case in that game or not. And that would be a reasonable position to take based on it being the case in Medieval Warfare 2, because the diplomacy models are supposed to be very similar between the two games. And all the time I keep talking, I forget what I'm doing. Did I do them? Yeah. But honestly, I mean, in the years and years and years that I played this game, I don't recall ever seeing any reason to believe that that would be so. But I'm really encouraging anybody who watches this video to do some testing themselves and try to get some conclusive evidence one way or the other. Because, you know, it's nice to know these things. The diplomacy in this game is so unnecessarily obscure. And it just, you know, after all these years, it'd be nice to have some decent understanding of how it actually works. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to attack with this stack.
Yes, Captain.
Got no frontline units. That's not the worst. If you're attacking a settlement, you don't really need the frontline units unless you're attacking somebody with a lot of cavalry, maybe, and they're likely to charge. But I have my own cavalry, so I can countercharge if really needed. And I've got enough of a volume of missile fire here that anybody who tries to charge me is probably going to get cut down before they can get close enough. So we'll go ahead and maintain the siege. Definitely need frontline units once I'm engaged with the Dunabar, however. Not having frontline units is not an option when dealing with a Dunabar. Yeah, I'm not sure how you would even test to see if trade would have an influence on diplomacy. I'm sure if I could think of how you could test that, I would have tested it by now. But if anybody comes, even if you can't test it, even if you can't test it yourself, and just come up with an idea of how to test it, do mention it in the comments, because I would like to test it, or at least have it tested. Let's see. The people's... Who's this guy? Do I have 2 emissaries here? How did I end up doing that? Damn. I probably... What? Oh, I was going to have one of these guys go south. Now I'm remembering. Okay. Not a big deal there, he just lost a few movement points, but there isn't really much for me to do in the south diplomatically right now since I can't get money off of them. I wonder, you know, I might actually be able to get money off of... I'm not sure. Horondor is kind of questionable because I think they start out officially Ways of Darkness, or Men of Darkness, rather. That's where Horondor is. But they can become Ways of the West officially. And I honestly don't know how the AI determines whether or not a faction falls within its cultural sphere, or religious sphere, I guess, in vanilla terms. Like, if it can be of that religion, is that good enough, or does it have to officially be of that religion? I don't know. But we're going to just stick with the safe bets here. The factions that are definitely Ways of the West. Because if that were the case, then I shouldn't have a problem performing this activity with a Dunabar, because a Dunabar can technically become Ways of the West. And oftentimes it will become Ways of the West in a campaign because it'll capture so many Ways of the West territories. It's not uncommon at all. Oops, almost doing that twice. See here? If I'd done it twice, that would have messed me up big time. They don't like it when you try to get money off of them twice for the same thing. They feel like you're a duplicitous bastard. You do that kind of thing, so you gotta pay attention to what you're doing.
I shall speak with them at once.
Go.
Yes, I shall speak with them at once.
This is pretty tedious, and diplomacy is tedious. But it does make you a huge amount of money. I'm sure there are those of you who would prefer not watching all this tedium. But if you're watching on your computer, I will put little links in the video to skip over these tedious parts and get to battles and such. But this is sort of the point of what I'm doing here. To show people how I make money in the game, how I play my campaigns efficiently and effectively. So if I were to skip over all the tedium, then you wouldn't really know how I was getting my campaign done. Which would defeat the purpose of this because, you know, as you can probably tell from the video quality, that's not the main attraction of my campaigns. This is really interesting. OBS just had an update today, or at least I just saw it today when I started recording. And I haven't been having any problems with OBS for this recording so far. Of course, now that I've said that, I'm sure everything will go to shit. Okay, let's go ahead and assault, and let's just pray that I can get through. Ah! Crap. I almost forgot to save stuff. You know, I didn't even save at the beginning of the turn. Oh, evil. I'm lucky nothing bad happened. Okay. There we go. It's a good thing I mentioned that, because it got me thinking about how horrible stuff could happen if I wasn't careful. Alright, so the challenge in this assault, is just going to be seeing if I can take out their ranged unit without taking too many losses myself. In particular, I don't want to take losses to my own ranged units, because that will reduce their effectiveness in a very direct sense. Range units decrease in effectiveness the most rapidly from losses because their entire unit is making up their assault capability, as opposed to infantry units or cavalry units where it's really just the front line that's providing the firepower, so to speak, the damage, and the rest of the line is just providing meat, so to speak, or morale. Okay, let's start deploying these guys. Let's take a look at where do I want to assault from. I always forget where the side is I like to assault. This is it right here. Okay, and I do like to start at a corner, close to a corner. That causes the AI to put a few units from its garrison right out here where they're pretty well exposed. And if I'm lucky, one of those units is going to be an archer unit, which I can then run down with my cavalry. I'm putting my cavalry up front right here. And these guys actually need a clear line of sight, a line of fire. So I'm going to put them over here. Let's give them a nice prod. There we go. And then I'm going to have everybody else. Let's see, let's put these guys in a group. These fellows. There we go. And these guys can go behind that one. Alright. Now what do we have here? Woodman axes. Bows. There's the bowman. Okay. And uh-oh, that's cavalry. They will probably start moving back up here to get themselves equidistant between whoever's in the square and these troops on the edge. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my cavalry at these guys right now. Okay. If he comes in to support them, then I'm going to be screwed. I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. Because once I've committed my cavalry to this charge, if I turn them around, they're going to take a lot of damage from these wooden bows. But what I guess I'll just have to do is back this assault up with these guys and just take them out with massive firepower as quickly as possible. This is weird. OBS is working so smooth. I mean, my computer is working smoothly. I was just waiting for the other foot to drop. Are you guys moving away? They are moving away. Excellent. They might change their minds once I get into the city perimeter. But with any luck, I can take these guys. Yeah. Are they? They're stopping. Look, they're already shooting, I think. Oop, 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 oop. Shit. Yeah, they're shooting at my... Ugh, and they're bunched up, so they take some bad casualties. And these guys are running after them. Oh, all bad news. I got my mercenaries up front instead of my nobles. I really should have done this better. Well, that'll be the one... Ah, crap! Everything bad. Okay, well, lesson 1 on things that you shouldn't do. Don't have all of your archers firing at somebody you're charging your light horsemen into, because they will all get slaughtered by your own arrows. Oh my god. Not in good form today. Not in good form. Okay, well let's just have these guys move up here. And run. Oh crap. Well, at least they're broken immediately. That sucks. Oh my god. I swear, I just lost 11 of my horsemen, and I'm sure it was all friendly fire. That's depressing. Well, it's a good thing this is all I needed them for on this particular battle. Actually, I'm going to need them for one more thing. They're probably going to have to take out these woodman riders. Well, I still have enough for them to do that. Okay, so these guys are running after my bowmen, and that means my bowmen need to start running in different directions. And then whichever ones he's not running at are going to be shooting him. Up, and everybody needs to run. I hate that they don't run automatically. I wish there was a setting for that. Okay, so all of you guys start shooting at him. So he's trying to ruin my day. In fact, you can run that way, and you can run that way. And you guys can start charging this guy, because he needs to break as soon as possible. He's probably going to catch up one of my guys here. Yep, see this one. Because he's not running! Run! Damn it, man. Run! Damn, I don't want to be taking this kind of casualties from an independent province a turn before I'm going to be at war with the Dunabar. Jesus, this is aggravating. You guys go up there. Just go over there. Alright, well, this is going to be one of my least impressive battles in terms of my skill at conducting a battle. Should have taken like 2 casualties in this battle. The way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up taking a charge in the face from that damn woodman cavalry up there. That's going to be the next issue to... No, what are you shooting at? Why would you be shooting at anything? Why are you stopping here? Did I not just order everybody to walk over there? Do you remember seeing that? Everybody remembers that, right? Holy crap. Getting a bit aggravated with this one. Okay, what would you have been shooting at? They need to all be off of this fire at will setting. Automatic settings are the bane of my existence. Go over there! I told everybody to go. Look. Go over there, 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 go over there. I need to run, just go over there. Okay, what can I do? So it was shortly after that point that the recording failed, and I think that was just a lesson to all of us. If your recording is doing well, shut the hell up about it before the gods of recording take notice of your hubris and throw a lightning bolt at your software. At this point, this is the third playthrough of the battle. The second playthrough, they didn't put their archers out on the perimeter as they had in that first live commentary, and I think it was just a nuance of how I'd set up my troops. I mean, it was roughly this way as you're seeing on this playthrough, but you know, they react to how you place your troops, and just a small difference in how you set them up can make a difference in what troops they put on their perimeter. But in this playthrough, they did expose their archers, and I was able to run my... And importantly, their cavalry as well, which I will take advantage of here, and hitting them with all of my ranged attacks that I can muster, and getting ready to charge in with my own cavalry as they get too close. And unfortunately, I think they're reacting to my own charge here, and it stopped their charge dead, which was lucky. I didn't want them to take out any of my men, even with a less impactful charge. So I'm sending my cavalry in here to finish them off, and I don't know, it might have been better had I not, I don't know. But anyway, they break pretty quickly, and I'm able to get rid of them. And what else happens after this? I don't remember at this point. Okay, so it looks like I'm letting my general pursue the cavalry there, because I don't want my mercenary horsemen to get too close to that infantry unit. And at that point, looks like I'm sort of giving up on the pursuit. Their archers, they're there in the background, and I don't want to take too many casualties to my cavalry from their archery fire. And at this point, I'm working my way around that infantry unit to get at their archers, which is a bit risky, because I could definitely get trapped between those archers and that infantry unit if the archers don't break quickly enough. I'm sort of gambling here that the archers will break quickly, and I'll be able to extract my horsemen. And I'm keeping my mercenary cavalry on the outside there, hoping that that will prevent them from getting any fire from those enemy archers, but it looks at this point like I can catch them before they can loose any bolts, any shafts, I should say. I'm just talking about shaft. At any rate, yeah, it looks like I got in there. Now at this point again, the AI always seems to know when I've gotten myself in a bad situation, and these archers are refusing to break, as they ought to have broken immediately, which is going to give these infantry time to get up behind me. And right here I'm just sort of panicking, like, break, damn it, break! Okay, they finally did break, and I'm running my horsemen away. I don't think I lost any horsemen to that infantry unit, which is very lucky. And I do think I was able to get all of the enemy archers. Oh, and luckily I was able to break that infantry unit too, with a lot of firepower into their rear. Let's say if I lost any horses there, it probably would have been from friendly fire. I don't think I lost many. Okay, ended up losing like 10 of my mercenary horsemen, which is more than I would have wanted to, but it's still, you know, you're going to expect some losses when you have to use cavalry. It's just the nature of cavalry. So, fortunately, I was able to finish off 3 of the enemy units right away, including all of their utility. They don't have any cavalry or ranged units left after this little group was cleaned up. So after running these units down, I'm going to be moving all of my troops over to my favored vector of attack. So, giving my movement orders here, and I notice some movement of enemy troops there behind me. So it looks like a couple of their infantry have decided to try to intervene, reacting to my own troops being inside the town perimeter, I expect. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that and lead them along with my cavalry into a position where I can shoot them the hell up. Move my cavalry a little bit more quickly since they're getting quite close. Cavalry having some pathfinding issues there. Okay, get my archers in a nice line here. They'll be able to take out these infantry really quickly. Looks like he thought better of it, and that was coming back. It's funny how they do that back and forth movement there. Okay, take him out. Keep your cavalry close, but not too close. Close enough to influence enemy morale, and not so close that they're going to get some enemy fire. I think I've actually decided to, since he's only sending the 1 infantry unit at me, I'm going to use the familiar fan dispersal of my ranged units and see if I can get him to expose his flank and rear to my enemy fire, or to my ranged fire, rather. And I'm keeping my my own cavalry up close as close as I can, and we'll see which unit he ends up ultimately deciding to follow. They do switch it up sometimes, so you got to keep on your toes. Can't expect him to lead them. You can't expect to lead them by the nose without paying attention. As you can see, he was originally following that center unit, and he decided to start following one of these other units. Probably just because they were closer or something of that nature. I'm not sure what the priorities are that they set for who they're going to follow. But it does change up, which is refreshing. Ah, there. He broke quite quickly. That's interesting. Maybe because he was more exhausted or something, I don't know. Or possibly because so many of his friends had broken already. Yeah, they broke quite quickly in this engagement. In the second playthrough, which also failed, I was having some difficulty breaking units. You know, they were getting down to like less than 10 men before they would break, which I was impressed with, but it didn't do them any good. They still all died. I have way too much firepower, way too much ammunition in this battle. I don't even really need to be playing them out like this and, you know, trying to get flank and rear shots because I have so much ammunition I could just take them head on. Yeah, and here's one more unit. I can see what they're doing here. They're trying to keep the entertainment value up while I'm positioning my troops, just to prevent me from skipping forward in the playthrough to when my troops are in position. Yeah, they're trying to take up my recording time, but you know, it's not going to work. I see what they're playing at, but it's not going to work. My audience will still appreciate every one of their deaths, no matter how they try to make it boring for you. There we go. So at this point I can tell which unit he's following after, and getting the other units up ready to fire at his flank. And I'll bring my cavalry up behind. It is kind of frustrating with the setting up the line of units near the border, because the way the towns are set up, they still kind of feel like there should be a wall just outside of that walkway, and it it messes with your ability to order units around. Okay, now he's following my cavalry instead, so all of my ranged units are ready to just slaughter him. Let's see how quickly he falls. 1, 2. Wow. He didn't have time to rout. He was just eliminated with 2 volleys. Gone. Oh, sad life. Okay, I think I can finally skip forward to where I get my troops in position. Alright, so I got my units in position here. My horsemen to either side of that main thoroughfare. My archers up in a line. I was wondering if I'd have to go into the interior and lure out some units, but this unit here is coming out for me. So I'm going to move my archers back a bit to give myself some space and to try and convince him to follow one of my cavalry to one side or the other. Even if he decides not to take the bait from one of my cavalry initially, I do have a ranged cavalry unit in my general, and if I throw a few spears at him, I'm sure I'll get his attention and convince him to pay attention to me. Once again, entirely unnecessary. I've got way more ammunition than I need. But if there was a really huge garrison, then you'd have to definitely be careful like this with your ammunition if you wanted to make sure you took the settlement in one go. There, now he's going after my general, and that will probably be his last bad decision in life. Say hello to my pointy little friends. Look at that. I'm still waiting for the optimal shot until he's fully flanked on me. No reason to, just being a perfectionist. Beautiful. Easily half the unit in that first shot. Didn't quite completely eliminate him on the second shot. Is he still not broken? Oh, there he broke. You can see that's an impressive amount of casualties for him to take without breaking. And I gave my archers a move order. That prevents them from firing right away. If you just hit the stop button on your archers while they're firing, they'll often decide to let off one last volley. You know, so they're like, I already took the arrow out. I don't want to stick it back in. It might get stuck. So you just tell them to move, then they'll stop firing, and you'll avoid some friendly fire casualties that way. Alrighty, and I hadn't even remembered at this point that I had still left some of their cavalry alive. So figured 3 units is not going to be that big of a deal. And at this point, I'm just going to move my cavalry up, and probably just 1 unit, I think my slingers up to take care of the last units in the square, and we'll skip to that part. Alright, so at this point my slingers are just cresting the hill there. I'm going to target these last 3 units, or the last 3 cavalrymen. And it looks like the infantry absorbed all of that first volley. But I think the second volley finishes off these cavalry all at once. Yep, 1 volley got them. And at this point we just do the familiar back and forth, running away until they turn their backs and then shooting them in the back. So we'll skip to the end of that process. Alright, very satisfactory. Just the last few men here to dispose of. As you can see, I just had to use my slingers for those 2 full units. So slingers are quite effective with that. I think I just ran out of ammunition there, so I finished them off with my general unit. Nice heroic victory. I apologize for not showing you the details on that one. I tried to remember that, but I was just desperate for this playthrough to save. I want the nightmare of 20 playthroughs that I started this whole series out with. And here we are back at the campaign map. Oh, that was a chore. Okay, what do I do here? I'll go ahead and occupy the settlement in the softy. Let's take a look at the settlement. Oh, you know what, before we do anything, let's save. I don't want to go through that nonsense again. Okay. So... go ahead and queue this up for now. If it looks like somebody's going to come in and take it, I'll cancel the project. Let's see what we can end up making here. It'd be so nice if it would tell you, just on this level, whether or not it was a homeland, or fiefdom, or outland dominion. You have to wait until you've done the pacification to find out. Okay. But the fact that I can only get foresters and spearmen and woodman axes definitely confirms that this has got to be an outland province. And that is something that is weird. I'm pretty sure that's going to be changed in the upcoming release, because it doesn't make much sense for a province just directly next to your namesake province is going to be an outland rather than a fiefdom or something of that nature. Okay. Well, this could be where I can start producing emissaries. And that'll save me a turn off of having to produce them over here. In terms of movement. Let's see. Anything special I can produce here? Construction industry, so I can get, they must have the wood resource in this province. Timber resource right there. So I'll be able to get a faction-wide construction cost decrease. 2%. And true, that's not much, but it adds up. When you get 5 of them together, you got 10%. Let's see here. And I'll be taking over some of the Anduin Vale. I'm sure they probably all have those timber resources in them. So you'll probably get a pretty good faction-wide discount just from all of those possessions. That'll be handy if I intend to expand greatly. Okay. Well, we got another attack to do down here. So let's go get some more money. Ah, being cheap again. Right. Let's go with 300 this time.